she heard it kind of singing a song out in the distance, some crazy long octave songs, not like an owl hoot. And then that's when it flew over, and then she woke me up, and I heard it in the back. And I also have, I walked outside one night, and I heard something go, "Woo!" And then at the same time, I heard it go, "Ha!" And then it went, "Whoop!" And I have the last part of it recorded, but I've never heard owls do that. And I often wondered if that was a squatch imitating an owl.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me, especially that
That would be,
big one. About how
yeah,
long
that
did
would
it
be
take
my guess.
for it to go from the front of your area to the back of your area? About what was the time frame between that?
I would say under a minute. It was pretty fast.
Hmm. All right. So this happened in a pop up near your on your property, but sorry, I just took a big sip of coffee. This happened. You heard this while you were in a pop up camper.
Yeah, we decided to sleep outside at night, and it's
Now,
awesome because we usually camp outside in tents, and you hear things.
how
But
big is the how big is your pop up camper?
it's one of the bigger mottos of that year. So I mean, we could sleep 6 to 8 people in there, I would say.
Okay. All right. So I got another question for you. So I noticed during the interview, right, when you mentioned the thing darting away from you in the wood line, you kind of like hesitated about that. Why was that?
Okay, so what thing were we talking
The
about?
when it ran towards the front with when your girlfriend was out with the dog.
Oh, okay. So I hesitated.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's so many things that it goes on in my mind with because I'm trying to be as specific as I can to what
Oh, okay.
happens, and I don't want to leave something out, you know.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't
And
know.
like,
Because
well,
I didn't know if it was like you didn't want to talk, if you didn't want to like broach that one or whatnot. So, but
always contemplated on coming on a show and saying what I had to say because I didn't. I know some of the stuff that I said is pretty fantastical,
listen,
and
listen. not at all, my
I
friend. Not at
really,
all.
uh, well, the flying cucumber thing kind of fits in that category, I would say. But the only thing I want to let people know is I'm all about the truth. I'm always looking for the truth, and I don't exaggerate things. I don't need to make up stuff. That's whatever I experience is what was going on, and I'm open-minded enough to know that I don't know a lot of different things. Like I'm no professional on any of these subject matters, but they did happen to me, and I realized that I need to. It would be to my benefit and probably other people to be able to express what I experienced.
Yeah.
And then if we could all work together, who knows? Because like when James uh, contacted me through comments, it kind of made sense. Some of the stuff he said to me that it's a possibility that I saw could have been one of those owl deals. I have no info on what a giant owl is like, so I can't rule that it wasn't that. So definitely it is, a possibility.
Well, like I like I say, I'm with my channel with the interview process. I'm trying to keep it. trying to keep it like a safe place where people could just come and tell their stories and not be judged. You know what I mean? And maybe answer a few questions here and there, because I'm not going to judge you. What you're telling me is your truth. It's what's happened to you. I'm just going to ask some questions about it. You know what I mean? And
That's totally fine. Yeah,
you know what I mean? And don't ever, I say, don't ever think that your encounters may be way too out there, because you never know. Somebody across the country might have had the same thing happen to them and they're just not talking
that's
about it. You know what
exactly
I mean?
true.
So,
That's
All right.
exactly true. Yep.
All right. So I kind of have a theory. I was thinking about it when you told us about the thing that was standing in the wood line, like uh, down a little hill, and it was about 7 feet tall. You say you just seen the eyes, you didn't see like the body or anything.
Yeah, that's what is a bummer about these headlamps. It'd be nice to get one
uh,
that lit up Saturn,
All right.
but
So were the eyes like a little bit into the woods, or like were they right at the wood line?
in that area where I told you is kind of surrounded by some busted stumps. But I checked during the day and there was no stump in that exact area where I saw those eyes. That's in a small opening of the woods.
Ooh, okay. Yo, truth. Think about it, dude. That have possibly been a Glimmer man? Maybe.
I don't, I
I
don't
You
know.
highly
never
doubt
know.
that. Just because of the fact that when it turned, I saw a body. I just couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was an actual like. I'm not gonna say the Glimmer Man's not physical, but to what he described doesn't sound like that. It definitely, and the speed that you described that it moved at, I don't think that's, you know what I mean.
And
Plus you're in
plus, it was as
Wisconsin, man,
silent as a ghost.
which I'm pretty sure they've been known to be that quiet. Like some people, they'll be walking right behind you, you can't even hear them.
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
I don't know too much about the Glimmer Man, but do people see eye shine or glowing eyes or from a Glimmer Man? I know I had my headlamp on. That's probably what was reflecting the eye shine back.
I mean, I personally haven't read any accounts when people have seen eye shine from it, but there may be, because I've only really delved into that in like the last year. You know what I mean? Because that's actually the first interview I did on my channel. A coworker saw something like that out in Pennsylvania. Um, but yeah, I mean it's possible. I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing. I've seen a few different animal eye shines, but I had a good time to stare into it. And like I said, it never blinked and we were eye locked. You ever see those light bright toys back in the day where you
Yeah.
stick these pins? Yeah. Remember, like if you stick a green one in there and it would glow and it would have depth in it.
Hmm.
The outside of the eye, like the center part of the eye, was glowing green, but there was a dot inside that had that long stem look to it, which was freaky to me. And I'm not sure what animal can do that.
Now, how far apart were these eyes? Uh,
Jeez, they were pretty far
like,
apart. I mean, maybe 5, 6 inches, maybe more.
hmm. And it's when you're light, and when your light hit it, that's when it gave off that green, the green hue.
That's right. Because at first I was walking past it and I caught something in my left peripheral. So I backed up and I looked directly at it, and that's when it was right there. It was really close to me.
Hey, Walt just hopped in.
Hey man, sorry I'm late.
It's all right.
Hey,
It's all
Volt.
right.
Hey, what's going on? I've been trying to listen and get everything else done. Man, I'm busier than a one-legged man in a butt kicking contest.
You're always busy, Volt. You remind me of Connor. I don't know how you do all the stuff you do.
Well, I'm not as rambunctious as Connor. That's probably why I don't get everything. I was listening
Hey,
to what you was talking about. I haven't got the chance to go back and listen to all the show before, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to ask you when you were talking about the what you were just talking about up there. You went back and looked and seen there were no stumps or anything. What was that at night?
the encounter was at night, and then during the day is when I looked at to see if there were stumps there, because I was puzzled at how high the eye shine was.
All right. What kind of headlamp were you using?
I got it at Menards. I'm not sure what brand it is, but I'll tell you right now, it's not
Is
what I expected it to be.
Is it LED or is it incandescent?
It's LED.
All right.
That does play a factor on the eye shine for sure.
Yeah. What about the lumens? Do you know how many lumens it is?
I was saying 400.
All right. About how far away were you?
20 feet.
20 feet. 400 lumens.
You would think you would see a silhouette or a body around there.
Well, it depends. All right. Does that headlamp, I don't know if you can see me or not, does it pinpoint like this or does it scatter out like this? You know, does it go
scatters out. It scatters out just like you said.
All right. So at 20 feet with a 400 lumen that's probably on about 160-degree spread, you're actually only getting about 80 lumens, about 20 feet in front of you.
Good information.
So you're all right with those LEDs, and at that distance, all right. If there's grass, other things like that are going to cast shadows. A hair on a squatch does some weird, wicked stuff. It's kind of like shining a light through a prism, is the way I equivalent it to. And when you got enough of those hairs doing that, to me, it kind of looks like it bends light. Because you can have, I've seen the top part of one just standing up there just as pretty as you please, and there was some weeds and stuff right around what be your little just above your belly button, and you couldn't see the bottom of it. And I'm like, what the hell? And even when it would move, and I'm following it, even when it would move, you couldn't see the lower half. It looked like a torso and the upper half of one just going along until it stepped out. As soon as it stepped out, it looked like its legs come out of this little shimmer. What it was doing is those hairs were in like a darker area, and the light wasn't hitting enough. And when it did, it blended right into the reeds, like it was. I can't explain it other than it looked like it matched the reeds, almost like a mirror effect. I've seen it a couple of different times. We talked to a bunch of other people, and their hairs, depending on the type of light and the brightness of the light, will determine on how that reflects back. Because what you basically what you're doing is you're looking for the reflection to come back to hit your eye. So
right.
If there's nothing reflecting, then you're not going to see nothing, right? Even if it's right in front of you.
True.
Instead of it sending the light, instead of it sending the light back. All right, whenever you're looking at this TV, your eyes are seeing it, and the light's reflecting back, hitting your eyes. But if I put a one-way glass in front of it, where that reflection can't get back to your eyes, then you won't see nothing, right?
That's right.
What if their hairs are doing the same thing?
That's true. I'd like to make a quick announcement. I have a lot of friends that are watching this, and they may not know who you are, Volt, but okay. Volt is a man of a lot of skills, and he's the only guy that I know in this field that grew up with Sasquatches in his life. And to me, he is the guy I would go to for any information on that. I greatly appreciate that you took your time to look at those photos and did those analogies. You disproved some things that I had on there, which really helped me figure out a lot of the stuff that's been going on.
But that's how we figure out stuff, and it wasn't nothing against you or nothing else. If some of the stuff in there, like I said, and like like what I'm telling you about the light and stuff, you probably have never heard nobody else talk about that because they don't want to let that information out there. I don't know why, but
Right.
that's the way it was explained to me when I had a couple of scientists break down the hair follicles. Because, like, if you take any other animals, any other primate, human, whatever, we have a center in our hair follicle. It's called medulla, I think. Well,
Yes.
Sasquatch hair doesn't have that. Basically, it's like a prism. And if light goes through that prism and bends and doesn't reflect back to you, then you have nothing for your iris to pick up. For the rods in your eye to pick up on. There's no light. So basically, it's a void. And that explained a lot of the what I call the hoodooey, witchy fooey with the Bigfoot. Well, they stepped into a portal. No, they just have a natural ability that our military's been trying for years to perfect. They already can do it. And it's not that they can turn it on, turn it off, but maybe that's the reason why they hug up next to a tree or whatever. They're trying to cast those shadows to make those lights bend around. Because think about how many science people say, oh, they were right up next to the tree or they got down next to a bush. That makes sense to me. The reason why they're trying to cast shadows. Those shadows are causing those lights to bend. Dude, I love you going out and getting the stuff. I love to see more people getting out. Just be careful when you're doing it because sometimes you can get to an area like I do a couple of times that
get yourself in some deep trouble out there.
Yeah, I'm just stupid enough to get myself out. I'm the best person to get. That's the only thing I'm an expert in is getting myself in stupid situations.
So,
I didn't mean to take over, Bass.
No, it's all right. The photo that you sent me the other day, I'm gonna see if I can bring it up on my thing. What do you think that was? Because it looked like a giant. Where's Facebook at?
Oh, you talking about the dark figure?
The one that the one Dark sent me the other day. The one I think I sent it to you, Mike Bass, right? The one you said was caught on your the one.
Oh, no, because we sent each other a whole bunch of different random crazy stuff. So I gotta go back through my.
And Dark, anytime you want to come on, I'm doing a show. You want to come on and give your 2 cents of what you figured out. Look, just because somebody, how long have you been doing this, Dark?
Geez, just about 2 years. So I don't know beans about anything.
Oh, no. Don't cut yourself short. All right. If anything, this is the way I put it. You've got 2 years of figuring out what doesn't work or what does work. Figuring out what doesn't work is just as important as figuring out what does work. Like I said, I grew up around these things, and what I was taught was how to stay away from them. And I just reverse engineered that to be able to find them. And I said, that's the only...
There's a lot of woods up here, and I'm all for going out because I've heard some things. I know areas where I want to go check out, but I really don't want to do it by myself, even in the daytime, because something happened. I mean, it's just me.
I'm gonna give you some pointers.
That'd be great.
All right. I don't know if you're a hunter or not. While I was doing this, while y'all was looking for that photo, Truth.
Yep.
All right. The pointers that I'm gonna point out to you is stuff that I'm teaching on my paid website. All right. What you want to look for is what I showed other people. If you see corridors where deer are funneled into, don't walk down those. Back out, find another, go around them, because you don't know what's sitting down at the other end of that funnel or what's sitting in the middle of that funnel. That's where people get themselves in trouble. walk around it. If anything, if they're hunting, they're going to be less likely to try to attack you or anything. If nothing else, you'll start hearing wood knocks. You'll start having stuff thrown at you because they're trying to basically run you off. Now, if you come down that corridor where they're hunting at, they're just as likely to pop you as the deer.
So you call that a kill box?
Yes, sir. That's a kill box. That's set up for a kill box. That's the same thing I would set up for animals or people. Like I said, don't go down those. They're set up specifically for hunting, and you don't want to put yourself in the eye of a predator as a prey. So go around it, because if you set one up and they found it, that's exactly what they would do. So you're putting yourself on the same level as them. Anytime you put yourself on a different level, at a lower level than them, they will take advantage of it. But look for that. Look for trails that feed into funnels, and don't go down the funnels. Go on the back side of the funnels. Go out. I'm talking about you may have to go around a long ways, but go around and try to come back to see. Get on the outside edges of that funnel coming in to see if you can see where something's been standing, where they'll make a hide or anything like that. That's where you're going to find your hair. That's where you're going to find the other. They'll have rocks stacked up there. They'll have sticks, large sticks, stuff like that. Like I said, this is stuff that I'm fixing to start showing and carrying more on. But since you're going out doing that, I wanted to give you some pointers of doing that. The other thing is, if you find a deer, if you find where deer are walking, like you got a hillside, if you find, and the hillside is, if you walk up, if you're looking at me and you see the path going right here and there's a hillside right here, don't go down that path. Go up on top of that hill and start looking down. About 20 yards or so away from that deer path, if they're hunting that area, you'll find sign of them. On a hill, they like to stay above, and they'll stay off to the side of deer paths. Look about anywhere from 20 yards down to 5 feet away from that. You'll find another path, and it'll be obvious because, a deer cuts the ground. So their paths are like little lines going through the woods because their hooves cut the ground. A squatch doesn't do that. Oh, shit.
Well, that's good information there, Vol. I appreciate it.
I've seen that one. Where have I seen that one?
This one I took in the backyard.
I think I seen it on does Bigfoot Anon have that? Or where did I see that? For some reason, hey, I just got TikTok today, so I'm seeing a bunch of photos I ain't never seen before, and I thought I seen this one on TikTok.
Yeah, this one I never made public until just now, so I highly doubt that you saw this one.
Well, it might not have been this one. I seen something that reminded me of this. That's why as soon as
now, when I'll tell you about this photo. When I came up here, obviously I'm from Illinois. I vacationed up here before I moved up here, and I'm really impressed by the woods and everything. So I was just taking photos, and I noticed that one, and I just thought it was a camera blob. I mean, I really didn't understand it. Bigfoot wasn't in my mind back then. And then later on, after I did the first show, I went back into my old computer, which is hard to get fired up because there's a problem with the power cord. And I was looking for a different photo, and I came across this one. And I'm like, oh my God, this is probably something I should share. So
well, I believe you caught something there, because I can see something. I can see two things in that photo.
I see. Right. Is this what is this right here?
That's the hair from that thing. Hey. You see how it's coming into the shadows? You see how it changes colors? You see what that's exactly what I was just talking about right there. See, it's actually a brownish cinnamon color. As soon as it hit those shadows, it got darker.
So I thought maybe that was one of those like alien blob things that are hanging on their backyard.
You can see the hair coming off of its head as it's moving down. You caught it as it's coming. See that how dark the ground is and everything is in front of that? It's going to a darker area because it blends in better.
I'll tell you what, Vault, I never seen that when I was taking the photo. I never even knew that was there.
That's common. I've walked almost right up 20 feet from one before, and then realized, oh shit, it's right in front of me.
Wow.
I see a leg, an arm.
Yeah,
Looks like the
that
top
is
of the
hair.
head.
That's hair coming off the back of it right there.
Which one's this? Is the back area?
No, that right there is the front side. But if you go back up to that brown area,
Yeah,
right up
right
there,
here.
that's it coming down, trying to get next to that tree and those bushes right there. That's this actual color. That's the color of it. But with it going into that light and the way that camera took, it acts just like your eye. See, it basically it's not reflecting enough light to catch right there what it's supposed to be catching.
Huh.
If it would have stayed right out there
You-
by this other tree, right out in the sun, it would have reflected, and then it would have caught like it's supposed to.
Okay.
They
You see
hide in
how
this.
the arm,
You
the
remember
arm
the
and the
old
legs
natives?
got like foliage?
Yeah, you remember how the natives used to say they hide in the shadows? That's why they used to say
Okay.
that, because they would step into the shadow. How many people have you heard that were saying, "Man, it wasn't there," and then all of a sudden it just stepped out and it's there? It must have come
Oh,
out of a portal. No, it didn't come out of a portal. It just came
yes.
out of the shadows,
Yep.
and the light was able to. Like I said, if the light does not reflect off of it, so you can see it, it will not show up. That's anything. That's the way a one-way glass works.
And it
Man,
kind of
I'm
looks
super
like
glad you came on the show.
it kind of looks like it's kind of like trying to get low
Yep.
to make itself less visible.
Hold
Because it
on.
looks like the leg is bent.
Yeah, I want you to think of this picture and then think of the picture I sent you. It's getting into that same position of what I call a charge. You see how they'll get down and almost
Yeah.
unload their legs?
Yeah. Okay, I can see
Does
that.
that position not look just like the one I sent y'all, the position it's in? That one right there is getting into it. He caught that one getting into that, what I call the runners, the stock stance for the when somebody's doing a relay race or whatever, they get in that stock, so they spring out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do when they get right before they charge. It's like their legs are spring loaded. Now, is that not the position, or does that not look kind of like that leg off of the one that I showed you?
Yeah, it does. Like they didn't get a chance to put its front arm against that front leg, that front thigh yet.
But see, you can't see. Yeah, you can't see the other one real clearly. So you don't know what the other side's doing with that arm right there. Was probably coming around as he took that picture to get on top of that arm, that leg, or right beside that leg. It's in motion. That's why it's blurred, and that's why you're catching that hair back there, and you can see the hair standing up on his head because it's in motion.
So, Dark, I got a couple of questions. Do you remember?
I got one question.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What Vault just said just really concerned me. You're talking about it's going down into a charge. Do you think if I stood there, it would have charged me?
Well, if you would have made a motion, no. If you'd have made any kind of other motion, like going towards it or something it didn't like, then it would have probably charged you. And they'll get behind stuff to do the charge. They won't be right out in the open usually. They'll be right on like the edge of a tree.
And plus, you had your phone in your hand. They probably didn't know what it was. It just seen something in your hand.
It didn't look big enough to be a firearm.
Or you must have turned and walked right down past it or whatever. So
I probably did.
It deems you not a threat anymore. But you see, it could have been a young one around. It could have been whatever. That could have been the sentry. And usually the sentries don't like to leave their post. It's like I don't know. They get really pissy about it. They will charge.
Kind of like the Royal Guard.
Yeah.
So
what would be your advice if one charged you?
Well, I can't tell you what I would. Personally, I'm going to stand my ground, and if it doesn't stop before I think it needs to, I'm going to open fire on it, because I'm not. Okay. If you run, you're just it's going to chase you down.
Yeah, as soon as you turn bait and run it, you turn into prey, and that just kicks in that predator instinct.
I'm I'm not saying this works, but I've heard a few occasions where people have like put their hands down, or like spread open, like and like
That's
didn't look them
before.
in the face.
That's before the charge.
Oh,
That only works before. Now, if at night a bright light shining it straight at them, I've even hollered as loud as I could at one, and it kind of like it stunned it. Like, wait a minute, what? And they'll stomp, they'll do all kind of crazy stuff, and usually they'll walk off. That's if you can stun them enough or surprise them enough to get them to stop. Sometimes they don't stop. They'll bail. They will run smack over you like you're not there. I've heard that. I don't know how many times. I think D. Doss had a guy he was out with had that happen to him. It knocked him. It just come by him and knocked him on his ass as he ran off. Like ha ha. They call it. The Indians used to call it counting coup.
I've heard that term before. Absolutely.
So, Dark, I got a question. Do you remember the days that you took these pictures?
Yeah, that was, ironically, that was in August, right before my truck got smacked down.
Okay, so do you what was the sequence of pictures that you took? Like you know what I mean?
Geez. I always wanted to be a photographer, and I took like a million pictures back there.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, because this is not the type of terrain or forestry that I'm used to, so I was in awe.
I got a question. Have you told anybody where you took this photo at?
Nope.
Good.
Do you mind if I give you some guesses? Because I think I can guess where this was took.
Sure. You are pretty good at that.
You're up north.
He's looking at the background.
I'm looking at the tree foliage and stuff like that.
I'll give you a zoom out.
Well, I can see that. I can see that's a long leaf. That's a long leaf pine tree. A long leaf pine. That tree right there, and those are oaks right there in front of it.
See, now when you zoomed out, you get a better perspective of how big that thing is.
See, it's bigger around than that tree right there, and that tree's probably 24 inches around.
It is a big tree, but those are big white pine trees.
Yeah. I see an oak right there. Yeah, those are long leaf. What they call long. They got a big ass fucking pine cone. They got long needles on them. Yeah, that's a long leaf yellow pine. So you're going to be up north. I don't want to give the state if you don't want me to.
Oh, you can give the state. I've already said.
Is it? Hey, zoom down on them leaves down there for me. Yeah. Because that just threw me off. I was just fixing to say Oregon. That ain't right. That ain't right leaves.
No. A little further.
From
east.
another tree too.
Are you in Ohio? Are you closer to Ohio? Is that in Ohio?
No, sir.
Where's that at?
It is in the most northern central part of Wisconsin.
That's why. Okay. Those leaves right there look like pin oak leaves. That's why it's throwing me off. Because I know the yellow pine is up in that area. They're also in Oregon. And right behind that, the cedar tree that only grows up in the northern parts.
Yep.
Dude, that thing is massive.
Oh yeah.
Like look at the calf muscle on it.
Shit.
Does the leg remind you anything?
Yeah. I mean, a fucking tree trunk, dude.
Well, one leg is up in the air. Like I said, what it was doing was getting in the middle. It was getting down, getting ready to charge if you'd have turned and came its way anymore.
There might have been a little one in there.
You're making me feel more confident about going out in the woods there by myself.
So now I got a question.
It don't make a difference if you're actually get more evidence with less people than you will with more people.
That is true. And all the stuff that I've posted and everything, like this picture, This is all around my house and behind my house. I live in Chicamaguan Forest, and it's
Ah,
pretty big.
see, that right
Yes.
there that says a lot because that forest
Yep.
right there was burned, and they come back through and set that part of that forest back out back in the 40s. That's why that
Oh
damn.
wow.
Okay, that's why.
But I could drive 30, 35 minutes to work, and I'm still in the forest. I never leave the national forest.
Part of that forest you're not even allowed to have a weapon on.
I'll have to
Well,
look into that.
I have a theory.
Uh-huh.
All right. Now that it's zoomed out a little bit, like maybe that's not a shift in the color of it. Maybe that's an infant on its back. That's why it's getting down in that position. Like you come any closer, I'm gonna let you have it because it has its baby on its back.
It may be, but I know that's a different that hair is changing color of the hair. The hair, that thing is not naturally that color. Because if you look right there, you see how the hair is standing up. It's almost a grayish white. Go straight to the top of the head. See that
Oh.
up there? That's hair that's done flowed down as it's moving. You see how that's different than the color of that because it's reflecting the light. They will almost absorb light like a black hole.
Okay.
And I can see how this, from the looks of it, this would be this area looks like it would have that.
That's actually a
the
log.
shadow.
That's part of a log or something laying right there that its legs behind. It's not actually in front of it; it's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Yeah,
log.
there's a log
Yeah,
there. You're right, Volt.
You know, you could be in the forest, and some parts of the forest will
That might-
catch light, and some parts won't catch light. So that might be what's
Well,
going
that
on
makes
here,
sense
'cause you
why
can
its
see it.
leg. Why that other
'Cause it's
leg
kind
is
of
the other leg is on top of that fucking. Excuse my language. That its other leg is on top of that log right there. That's a log.
man,
That's part of a rotten log right there. It's right in front. Right in front of it. That's why its
you
other
can
leg.
curse on this channel. You know you can curse on this channel.
I know, but I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to be nicer.
No, so it's this.
No, I'm
So
kind of
this.
thinking that's where the arrow is. That's the left leg,
Yep.
and if
the
you
right
move
leg
to your
is
left, is like almost behind the tree that's in the foreground.
I think you caught it. I think what you did was you caught it coming down that hillside and it froze and it's waiting for you to see what you're going to do. But
Well, I'll tell you what, I almost deleted that photo back when that old computer was still working because I just thought it was a camera blob.
Question: have you gone through? I know you said you took like thousands of photos. Have you gone through the rest of them? I mean, you never know what
Yeah,
you catch.
I need to do audio work on the audio that I caught up here and a bunch of other things. And I tried to get into, I have a lot of photos that I do. I started going into them to see if I could see if there's anything like this in there.
So, Paul, do you know of any? Do you know of any programs that could like clean up audio?
Yep.
He's having a problem with
Audacity.
You know what my biggest problem was? I was trying to put them on Facebook, and that's a crazy place to try to upload audio or whatever. Because I seen all the formats that I could use, and I used them, and it still wouldn't upload it. So I'm just gonna clean up the audio, and I'm gonna have to get one of your email, Truth, and then I'll just shoot them out to you.
So are when you're trying to upload them, are they coming up as like MP4s?
Yeah, I put them in MP4s and all kinds of other formats. But when you go into Facebook and you go to post it, it doesn't even see it in my folder.
So
did you take it off a cell phone and upload it?
Yes.
All right, it's going to be MP4A. That's the reason why it's got to be that A on the end of it. Cell phones, most cell phones record, especially older ones, record in MP4A, and that you got to convert it into just an MP4.
I see. Okay.
I got something. If
I
y'all
was
don't care if I share, I'm gonna show y'all what trickery a light will do.
cool.
Stop sharing that screen. Put that down there.
Share. There we go.
Okay, so
Can y'all see that?
Not yet.
I'm hearing something.
That sounds like somebody's cell phone.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
I don't have anything popping up. I don't have anything popping up here, Vol.
It says shared.
No, on my screen.
It's gonna be down there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, I'm seeing the share.
Well, let me remove it and go back.
Yeah, because there's nothing popping up. It's just got my stuff on there.
All right, hold on. What the hell is that?
All right. So,
Hold on, let me. Oh, all right. I see what happened. Hold on, share. I'm not used to doing this on somebody else's.
I'm still figuring it out myself.
All right, it should be down there. It should be a screen down, extra screen down there, and you hit add to the show.
No, that's not that.
Or it may not let us because there's 4 people in here.
No, I don't see why it wouldn't.
Because the unpaid one won't let but 4 people at a time come in.
Oh man, I'm paid, man. What are you talking about?
Okay, I didn't know.
One second.
Well, I gotta. Well,
Sorry about that.
ain't no problem. If nothing else, when we come on, when I go over and do my show, I'll share these because these came off that latest video that I put up where me and my cousin went out to the new property. Like I said, that's why I put the videos up to let people, because I'm looking around where I'm at trying to film. I'm trying to change up the whole way I do things, and I miss a bunch of stuff. Why I'm trying to film for y'all, and somebody caught something. Matter of fact, I can tell y'all when it was caught. Y'all remember when my cousin found the wolf tracks, and I showed him that there was 3 tracks in that one.
Mm-hmm. The ones that he had in his short.
Yep. The right before that, I'm pointing down through there, and right at the end of where those trees are, there's something standing down there, and we totally missed it. We didn't even see it. Somebody else went back, watched the video, and caught it.
Oh wow!
See, you gotta love the eagle-eyed viewers of the Nightmare Nation.
Well, that's the reason why I said, look, look, y'all don't understand. I'm my own worst critic. I will look at something, and I've got a bunch of stuff I could probably put out and blow up a bunch of people's minds, but to me, they're not good enough. I want more. I want undeniable proof when I put it out.
That's true. That's true.
Well, you know where to go if you want that undeniable proof. You gotta go back over to Z Wiki Woods.
Oh, I'm
that footprint was
That's
crazy.
a dangerous place there, man.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
I've got trail cameras scattered out, and say I only go once a week out there because I'm trying to leave as less of my impact in there as possible. I leave those cameras alone for a week at a time. I have left them for 2 weeks, but because I couldn't get back to get them at the time.
All right. Dark Woodz, I got a question. So, like, as cold as it is where you're at right now, like, do you get any activity when it's this cold out?
Oh yeah, the code doesn't do anything as far as activity goes. It's more of a time frame, and like I said, sometime around September till about around now, I usually get activity. The first 2 years I've been up here, I had activity. This year, I think something happened. I had a little bit of activity, but I don't know what changed the course of how they come
I can
and
tell
hang
you when
out
it.
and
I can
meet
tell you
you.
when it changed. It
Oh,
changed right around the same time. It changed right after April, right around between April and May. The activity changed. I don't know what was going
okay.
on, but that's whenever I chased Dogman all the way from Kentucky, from Tennessee all the way up through Kentucky, and they were making a beeline up that way.
Huh. What do you think is the reason for the change?
I think something else changed it. I don't think it was natural. I think
That's
something
what I
else.
think.
I firmly believe it because I've never seen, especially Dogman, I've never seen them act the way they did. They diverted twice, and and they didn't do it for very long, and they actually like turned and home right back in. They were following a dead path. Because
So,
I left them, got picked up, and went further up and around because some of the area was just too rough for me to get through. So I went up and around and picked them right back up on the lateral line. All right, you have parallel and lateral lines on grids on maps. I picked them up in between, almost in the same position on a lateral. I mean on a parallel line on that map system right again. I did that twice. So that told me they are on a line like they were on a string going straight that way. Anytime they diverted, they got pulled right back. I don't know why they did it, what did it, but something did it, and it wasn't natural. I don't think it was nothing natural about it. That's like why the hell
so
do
it
I
must be
come
something.
down here?
It must be something more powerful or something they're afraid of.
Nah, I don't think it's. I don't think it has fear. I don't think fear had nothing to do with it. I think they were being called. It was like a homing pigeon.
Like they
Oh,
were being beckoned, like they were being beckoned somewhere.
That's what I think. I can't
so
prove
if
it.
I remember the story right, you followed them up until you seen a bunch of tall grass at the edge of a bluff where it looked like a
On top
chopper
of a
may have
bluff.
came down.
It was an opening on top of a bluff. It was probably 75 yards in circumference. And if anybody's been around choppers that's come in, you can tell when a chopper comes down because all the grass will be pushed down and laid out and it'll look like waves. The other thing is all the leaf litter around in that general area, those chopper blades just whip around and it will knock all the leaves off on the inside of the perimeter around where that chopper was. It ain't the blaze doing it, it's the wind whipping off because it swirls as it comes off like a whip. And it will knock all the leaf litter off right there, straight down where it's at. And it didn't look like it actually touched down, landed. It looked like what's called touch and go. You come down, pick up whatever you're picking up, and you never take off. You never let your power down. You're almost at half power, and you hit full power, and that sun's gonna shoot back up in the air. We called it a pick and go.
That sounds a lot like something else is going on there for sure.
That's all I can tell y'all is what I saw, what it looked like to me. Now, where it was, I don't know. I didn't get to see it with my naked eye. I stayed about a day behind these damn things. I did that for a reason. It gave a cushion in between us because they turned and looked at me one time. I seen them from one ridge top, probably a little more than a mile across to another ridge top. That's straight across, but down and up. It took me a whole 8 hours to go down one valley, go down to the bottom of the valley, and come back up the other side of the valley. This is in the mountains up in Kentucky. Well, the hills and hollers, I call them mountains. That's what the hell they are. You're talking about probably 400 foot in elevation change from the top of one down to the bottom of one, back up to the other one. That's a lot of damn difference.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, I seen two of them on my naked eye, and I know they were to me they were looking straight at me. I was looking through a spotting scope, and to me they looked like they were looking straight at me. and they wasn't happy, and they turned and went straight back. They didn't turn and come down like you usually would and try to challenge me. They turned and went like they were going straight back on that path. I was like, and I made a phone call and got picked up. And I left from there and went. I was actually trying to get around in front of them, off to the side, and I never could get in front of them. I always stayed behind them for some crazy reason. But I was able to pick them back up again once I ran around that mountain range or gully range, whatever the hell you want to call it.
So I got a picture to share real quick. Dark, that I just grabbed off your page. It's of the live trees that are bent over. I already nuked them.
Oh, I was going to say, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, I already got them.
I tell you what, if you want to have some fun, if you don't mind, if you want to have some fun, come over to my channel a little bit. I play kick the ball with you.
Yeah, you won't win there.
Yeah, I seen that. I tried to get him, but Truth hit him before I did. I'm looking at chat. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, I got a screenshot for you. I guarantee you won't type on nobody else's channel either, because just so happens I got some friends on YouTube. That shit right there is gonna go away. You talking about make me madder than hell?
Yeah, it's just happened to look. So that shit pop. Fuck them. All right, so I just grabbed this off your page, Dark. What's going on here? There's bent over trees.
I can't see it, Truth.
Oh shit! I didn't share. Did I share screen? Yeah, I shared it.
I think my stuff's got it jammed up. I'm gonna stop sharing. There we go. Okay, folks. What the hell? We've got okay. I'm sorry, I accidentally hit a button. I was trying to get over to the other side of YouTube so I could knock the snot out of that little bastard. It was over.
All right, so what do we
I was
got?
trying to get over to the other side of YouTube so I could. I did it again. I'm sorry. I got to quit. That little dude. Y'all don't know how bad that little dude up there teed me off.
All right, so Dark, can you see what I got on the screen?
No, I just see you guys.
Okay, hold up. So stop sharing. So boom, share. Bear with me, folks. I'm still learning this. Window, boom, boom. That should pop up now. Add to stream.
Nope, there you go.
There you go. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something real quick about this. I had this on my Facebook page, and Valt's cousin Jeremy clued me in to probably what occurred there. And this guy's been a logger for many, many years. And obviously you can tell there's a small section of woods that were logged out here. And he believes that because these trees grew up with a bunch of other trees around it, that once the trees were taken out from logging, because the winds do come through. The only question I have was those impressions, the claw marks or finger marks that were on the bark. Because I don't know if you could zoom in on that picture, but those are two small oaks that were growing between two pines, and both of them fell over. But like I said, Jeremy knows what he's talking about as far as logging and how trees react. So it's highly possible that's what happened. But I'm still kind of confused with the marks on there.
All right, you know what that is? All right, when that I can tell you exactly what that is. All right, what it is that tree got run over by a piece of equipment that was coming through there, the file buncher or whatever. And when it pushed it over, it actually, instead of, you know how a squatch would twist, they twist and pop the tree over. Well, if those trees right there are not twisted as they pop over, they won't stay over. They actually, when you bend them over, they'll bust open. And it looks like claw marks and stuff because it actually pops open from the inside. It'll split. And then
one thing I want to say is I go back there every single day, and the first thing I do is I look around in the terrain to make sure nothing stupid's around, and then I go look for tracks. And I went out there one day in the spring, and there's leaves on those oaks, and they're straight up. And then the next day I went out there, they're leaning over.
All right. Whenever you took
So
this
I
picture right
know
here,
that didn't happen.
zoom back into that picture right there where you just were. All right, go down on the picture. No, yeah. See the tire marks right there in the ground? See that right there?
Yeah,
Something
there
grabbed
is
those
tire marks.
trees and pulled them over. That's why they're down right now. And what they'll do is they'll heal themselves and they will stand straight back up. Over time,
Oh, okay.
but they'll stand straight back up. I don't know how or why they do it. That's like certain he was showing me and telling me there's certain tree species. If you go there in the morning and you hold a plumb bob up, you'll see that tree is leaned one way. They always lean towards the sun. In the morning time, they'll be leaned towards the sun from the morning, and then you go back that evening and stand right where you were, hang that string bob back up, and they're leaned the opposite direction. They follow the sun. I don't know how or why they do it, but I thought that was crazy as hell when he showed me that. Yeah, that fella knows his stuff
That'd
about
be,
the.
yeah, he does. That would be just like a sunflower, how they move, the heads move with the sun.
1 second.
I didn't know that.
The only thing though is these trees been, yeah, these trees been bent over for over a year, and they're still the same way. It's just now during the summer, I noticed that more branches are growing out the top of them, so I think they're going to stay down.
They probably will. They probably stood back up and they didn't have enough structure in them. And they come back over, and they'll grow limbs straight out the top of them to grow up to get to more sunlight. It's weird how they do that.
Yeah, that's what. Yep. But yeah, I believe what Jeremy said is pretty close to true. I just, like I said, I couldn't understand because these are in between these two pines. So when they were standing straight up, like one day I was out there, they were straight up. The next day, I seen all this foliage on the ground, and I thought the trees broke, but I went around them and looked at it,
It looks like
and
to
they
me
weren't
they were
broke,
scattered.
but I did see marks, like right in the,
To
where
me, it
the
looks
middle of the arc is. That's
yeah.
on that.
To me, it looks like how they got broke too is by the machine is they do what's called scattering. Whenever they get ready to, they just don't leave all they're not supposed to anyway. They're not supposed to leave all the brush piled up one area. You scatter it back through the forest the best you can because it will dissolve back into the forest to grow more trees. It looks like they were scattering out sticks and brush and stuff, and probably something got hung up and got those little trees and brought them over. That's why it didn't completely tear them out of the ground. Look, they got a
Mm.
machine that can get up against that pine tree right there and push that sucker over.
Oh yeah, they got shallow roots for sure. You can see in the background one of those pine trees pulled over, and there's shallow roots sticking up.
They got a skidder back last year. I forgot what it's got a certain name for the skidder, but it's got 6 wheels on it. It's got 4 sets
Oh
back in the back, and then it comes down with a claw. That thing can stick a claw, 127-inch open a grapple claw up, reach down and grab a stump out of the ground, close it, and pull it straight up out of the ground like it's plucking up a potato. Uh,
wow.
well, it'll they can drag that petty bone or whatever they call it. That thing will drag enough wood to load one semi truck and 2 drags. That's how much wood it can drag
Oh,
behind it.
that's a lot of wood.
Well, he was like right next to a logging road,
Mm-hmm.
and on the other side of the road, he caught those canine prints, right? The ones that you had to bill. That was it the $20 bill next to, or was it a dollar?
1 second, I bring him up.
That was not anywhere near here. That was down the road, about a mile away. There's a there's a side dirt road that connects two roads that people kind of take a shortcut, but there's some houses down there in the beginning, but then it turns into wilderness. And that's where I caught those canine prints. But I believe that those are wolves.
Hey,
Let's see,
WT,
I'm bringing.
come here for. Oh, hold on a second.
Yep.
Come here. I want you to look at something. See if you can track somebody down for me. Camera's off.
uh, oh man, people are just stupid nowadays.
So, chat, we have no questions from chat, huh? There's a lot of people I see in the chat.
I've been keeping my eye on chat, man. I've just
Yes.
everyone, come on, everybody.
I want
But yeah,
I wonder if anyone
everybody.
has.
Be right back.
Sorry.
I
Go
wonder if anyone has any thoughts about that flying cucumber deal.
yeah.
ahead. I'm thinking Faye, because it's a lot of the stuff a lot of the stuff that you've talked about.
You
in your
find them. I
interview
want the address.
sounds like Faye folk stuff. So it's quite possible. I
All right.
wanted to go back to the one encounter you had where you said it clapped behind you.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Right? You were
Yeah,
sitting
that
there and it made that loud clap.
yeah, that really freaked me out. And then it also told me that, Vault, do you think that these Sasquatches have a sense of humor?
Yep. Not quite like
Okay.
ours, but yeah, they'll make fun of. They'll do stuff to you and then laugh about it. Ask Crow.
So
After they slapped him like a soccer ball, that one, and like I said, the little ones will sound like his creepy ass little kid, or what I call the witch cackle, and some of the bigger ones will sound like a freaking donkey, like when they're going off laughing. That's what I call it. It's the
Oh,
laughter
wow.
anyway.
So, well, I don't know if you got a chance to listen to that part in the interview where he went back to the campfire and something clapped behind him. Dark, do you want to relay that part to Vault?
Yeah, we usually do a lot of bonfires. It's about 100 yards out from the house, out into the woods. And my girlfriend set up a really nice fire ring with her and her son took a lot of time finding big stones to make this fire pit. So I was back there and I set up a bunch of wood. It was kind of wet, so it was a pain to get it to light up. And I was on my hands and knees blowing into the embers to try to get this thing to fire. And it finally took off. So then once it did, because everyone's back in the house, once I get the fire going and it burns for a while, I'll text them and they come out and we do what we do out there. But as soon as I got it done, after all that effort, I wanted to smoke a victory cigarette, so I roll my own cigarettes. So I had my tobacco pouch in my lap and I was rolling up a cigarette. And right when I was licking it, this thunderous clapping sound, it sounded like two catcher mitts just slapping together, was like a foot behind my head. There was 4 claps. By the second clap, my brain registered what was going on because it was just weird, unusual. And as soon as I figured it out, my reaction, I jumped out of my chair and my tobacco went flying. I lost my cigarette and I spun around and I hit my headlamp because it was nighttime, obviously. And I couldn't see nothing there. There was a lot of trees, whatever could hide behind. But I thought about it and I don't know, did they clap because I finally got the freaking fire started? Or, I mean, I don't know what that was about, but to me, it
Could have been
sounded
a
like it
number of
was,
things.
yeah. I just kind of deduced that there was a sense of humor with
It could have
them.
been warning other
goofing
ones
around.
around there. It could have been warning the other ones around there, that hey, they got a fire over here, because some of them don't actually like fire. I don't know why or whatever. I know the ones
I'm
that look
glad you
don't like it. Don't like it.
I'm glad you brought that up, Volt. Did you ever hear when Bigfoot touched people's windshields and their windows in their houses that it leaves like a greasy film and it's
Yep.
real hard to get off?
Yep.
What if that stuff is flammable? What if all their skin is like that?
That's a good possibility. That's what I'm saying. There's so much stuff that when you start digging into this, you start with one question trying to figure it out. Well, then that when you start digging, then that one question leads to another question, which leads to another question, and you fall down what I call the Bigfoot hole, where you got so many questions now. Which one do you start with? So I had to learn to catch myself and come back. Okay, I'll write this down, and later on I'll come back to it. That way you can keep going on the path where you're trying to figure out. Because like I said, trying to figure out one thing, you'll come across 50 others that go along with it. Like I said, I call it the Bigfoot curse, the Bigfoot hole, whatever you want to call it, because like I said, that greasy film. Why are their hands so greasy? Well, what I was told by somebody was think about it. You take a homeless person that doesn't wash their hands and stuff like that. Look how grimy and greasy their hands are. We wash our hands. Think about how many times a day you wash your hands.
So I got
Well,
I got
one
a
thing is,
question. Got a question from Paul Silence in chat. He just said, Dark Woodz, have you ever encountered any infrasound, feelings of unease, nausea, hair standing up?
yeah, that fortunately I have never experienced.
Well, you may have and didn't know it. Have you ever been in the woods before? Just all of a sudden, just for no reason at all, you think of something else you need to go do. So it makes you just leave automatically. You had tended to stay longer, but then if something come along, something just popped in your head. It's like, damn, I got to go take care of that, and you leave. Have you ever had that happen?
No, I did go out in the wintertime snowshoeing and I went pretty deep in the woods. And I don't know if it was because, when you're out in some new woods and you're pretty far away, the woods all look the same. Then you kind of wonder, unless you're following your tracks, which direction I'm really going, because everything, the scenery, all, trees, trees, trees. So you don't really know exactly where you are, your position. But I've never experienced anything where it made me want to change my mind to leave or
That's
anything like
another
that.
reason. That's another reason why you need to go to Walmart and go over into the camping section. It costs you like $4 to get a sextant compass. Get a compass before you take off in the woods. You take a compass reading of where turn. Don't take the compass reading where you're going. Turn around and take the compass reading where you just were, because that's where you want to go back to. And I'm going to do a show that's dedicated on my on the survival school of how to use a sextant compass, because most people have no idea how to use it. And
That's true.
a lot of people rely on their phone and stuff. What happens if your phone dies or whatever? It's useless. Sometimes you can get into an area where your phone don't pick up. But if you take a reading where your sextant compass, if you turn around and your vehicle or wherever you started from straight behind you was 280 degrees north, it makes no freaking no matter. You can go 2 miles, 10 miles. When you want to go back to that spot, you turn around, you hold that compass straight in front of you. When you open it up, there's a line on it. You set that compass needle to 280 degrees. You look through that compass needle, it'll be a flip up, a little scope. You look through it, look through your line. What you're doing is you're picking a line out on the horizon to walk to. You will go, I don't care if you're 10 miles away, you will go right back to that spot. You're going to cross that spot that you started from. That's how you take a sextant compass reading to where you can get back at any time to where you were.
See, my sister gifted me with one of those, and I couldn't figure out how to freaking use the damn
I'm
thing.
going to show y'all exactly how to use it. Dude, I carry 4 different compasses with me. I've got
Oh
my
wow!
cell phone usually the time, but I carry 4 compasses because I have had compasses do some squirrely shit now. But if I've got one compass that I think is maybe mislead me, because you can bump a compass, or a compass can go what's called about a line where it's not sitting like it's supposed to anymore. It's done got messed up, or a cheap compass will really do it. But I carry four different ones. If all four of mine are giving me the same reading, then I ain't worried about it. But if one's not giving the same reading as three others, I'm gonna start. Okay, something's going on with this. I'm gonna stop using it. I'll go to using one of the others, because, like I said, I carry one on my wrist. I've got one on a backpack, and I've got one usually clipped to me somewhere. But I carry just a wrist compass. What you laughing at?
Yeah, a lot of those new watches they have them right on the straps.
I'm reading chat, man. These guys are going crazy in chat.
What about Chet?
Well, you got Jennifer calling it a sexting compass,
Huh?
and then Paul's talking about you use it just walking by thrusting your pelvis forward and follow the itch. You fucking guys are crazy.
Man, Paul's always into something, doing something.
Chat
Oh,
is
man.
an unusual thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't wished anybody happy birthday yet.
Oh, don't start that shit.
It's getting close to his due date, isn't it? All right. See, look, this is a little cheap, inexpensive compass. Goes right on your wrist. It actually also has what they call a safety whistle. If you're lost in the woods, blow that as loud as you can 3 times in a row. That's a universal signal to something's wrong. Also has one of these. You can cut rope, you can cut whatever. On this side of it, it'll actually throw a spark. You can light fires with it.
Oh, that's the little piece of flint.
Yeah, that's a flint up inside this stick. This side right here slides right up in here. You can use it to cut with. You can use it to strike. And then it has 25 feet of. There's 20. This thing is made up of 25 feet of paracord.
Oh, that's handy.
I said then it goes right on your wrist.
Hey, Truth, you were asking me that question about infrasound.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the latest thing I put up on my Facebook wall of an audio recording I tried doing, and I believe infrasound was trying to interfere with me recording it.
So, all right, so I got your page over here. So let me go on and bring it up. That was a big ass fish you caught in that compared to your bug bag, by the way.
That was a little one.
All right, so we're gonna see.
It should be my latest post.
Yep, I'm gonna try to bring it up without sharing my old Facebook shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't want to see your porn sites.
Man, listen.
Don't worry, it's not squatch porn.
Don't worry about what I be watching.
I ain't let Lakea live that one down yet.
That's crazy.
That was hilarious, is what that was. Damn, I'm out of coffee. Dr. Pepper.
All right, so let me go back to StreamYard.
Hey, and you something else. If you go join that survival, you're gonna learn an easy way to build a fire anywhere you want, anytime you want.
Yeah, I am interested in that.
Well,
all right, window. Shit.
I know if I'm like walking through the woods and I'm going to I gotta walk through the woods to get to like a good lake or something like that. I have 2 lighters on me, 2 knives, pliers, all that good stuff.
well,
all right.
What you needed to get you is, I don't have it laying in here. It's in my other bag. Get you a Ziploc bag. I know every one of y'all has a dryer at home. You'll dry probably 2 or 3 loads, if not at least a week, if not a day. That dryer lint, get you several, scoop it out, put it in that damn, roll it up in a ball, put it inside that Ziploc bag. You see that thing right there? That right there costs you anywhere from $2 to $4 for that big old can. What you do is before you open that Ziploc bag and you soak that damn stuff down with Zippo fluid.
Yeah,
Then you
that's why
you roll, shut it, zip it tight, and you stick it in your little. You could like truth. You stick it in. I mean, a bass. You stick it in your a spot in your tackle box because you can take that out and then take a piece of that out, roll it up tight, find you some dry wood, put that down in it. You can take a spark, and that sucker will light up just like a Zippo lighter and sit there and burn continuously until that other stuff catches.
Yeah, that's because they tell you like make sure you clean out your dryer lint because it is flammable.
Yep. And if you put Zippo fluid with it, it'll light even if it's wet. Basically, you just made one
Now,
of these.
truth, I don't know if you gotta.
Let's see
I
what
don't know if you gotta
I'm
amplify that or not. But
gonna press
try it
play
out.
and see what happens.
If it breaks, I didn't do it.
Getting any audio? Can you hear it?
Oh, I can hear it.
It's supposed to be like a buzzing.
I hear electrical interference is what I hear.
that's exactly it.
That sounds like about on the 60 hertz home. All right.
I kind of heard that in the background right there.
Wind it back a little bit. Here, I'm gonna play.
Yeah,
I'm
if you
play
could
one
do
more
it
time. Right?
louder,
I'm gonna start it from.
you could hear the background.
Yeah, I can hear
I'm gonna turn the gain
when
up
it gets
a
like
little bit.
halfway through the video, halfway
second.
through it, you could definitely hear it.
Let me change the settings on this Yeti microphone. All right. So here we go. Can you hear that?
I can hear the feedback. Is that what it's supposed to sound like, or what are we listening for?
There was a bunch
There's supposed
of
Can you hear that?
howling.
I can.
And
Yeah, I
stuff.
just
I can
caught
hear
it.
the howling in the
You can hear it in the background. Hey guys, I got an emergency thing going on here.
Okay, what's going on, man?
What's up?
I'm in my truck because it's the only reception I have, and
Yeah.
my battery's at 12%, and it says it's not charging because of temperature. I got it plugged into the truck with a USB. So what I'm going to try to do is stick this phone in my pocket and maybe it'll warm up, but it's not charging. So I might lose you guys.
Turn your key. Is your key on
I'm going
auxiliary?
to try to do whatever I can to keep the show going.
Yeah.
Oh, Vol, it's negative out there. You got that truck running.
Oh, you do have your truck running?
Hey, Dark.
Hello. First
Yeah, we might have lost him.
to Dark Woodz.
But no, the audio that we were just listening to, under the buzzing noise, you could hear howling.
Yeah,
I don't
once
know if you can make that out.
once the buzzing stops, you could definitely hear something off in the distance.
Hold on a second. Thought I heard somebody knock on my door.
What, your front door?
Yeah.
That wouldn't end well.
As long as they're knocking, they ain't trying to come in.
What does naval lint? Oh, never mind. I don't even want to know what's going on.
Because at any time, there's one of these laying around somewhere. There's another one.
We you got like 15 guns just sitting right by you at any given time with
So, all right. So
hundreds of rounds.
while we're killing time waiting for, oh, he just tried. He
I got
might
about
pop back
300
in.
rounds in this drawer right here.
So, what are you doing your stream about later, Bo?
Don't know. I thought
BY,
about doing a call in. I thought about
BYOT, bring your own topic.
hey, you can whatever. Like I said, I like the way Dark was doing here, and he's caught some unique stuff that I don't think he realizes how unique it is. Like I
Yeah.
said, I know he says he hadn't been doing it but 2 years, but that doesn't to me that the time doesn't really matter. It's how much effort you put in, and it looks like he's putting a lot of effort in
It
because
seems like he goes out every day.
well, all right, yeah. You take most people that have been doing this for 2 years, and and add up everything he's done for what they're doing, and it looks like he's got like 6 years in because of the time evidence they're collecting and how much they're going out. I said, so I don't go by how many years somebody's been doing it. I've been doing this over 20 something years, and I still don't know shit. I know enough to get myself in trouble, is what I tell people. I rely heavily on my tracking. Now, I'll tell you, I'm a hell of a tracker because I made a living at it. And either you're good at it or you're not good at it. And if you try to make a living at it, you better be good at it or you're going to starve. And you can tell I ain't missed many meals.
I hope he comes. I hope he can come back in, man, because I have there he is. There he is.
You guys can hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What the heck, man?
Hey, I can't help but you live so far up north for the Eskimos, man.
All right, so
I was tougher than the phone was.
all right, so Dark, we've been beating around the bush a little bit here. I got a question for you. What I saw you post in chat the other day, please elaborate on this black-eyed person sighting you had.
Okay, hold on 1 second. My girlfriend's out here throwing some heat over here, I guess.
No problem.
Hey, you know, this is going to sound crazy. I can tell you how to keep that phone good and warm.
What's that?
Do I really want to hear this?
I don't know if you do or not, but put it between your legs because you know damn well your balls ain't going to get cold.
I was just thinking that. I'm like,
I'm serious.
You're talking about cold heat, boy.
Well, like I said, I just think about it because he ain't going to sit in that truck if him start getting cold. He's going to end this quick.
Oh, no, I tell you what, I'm dressed up good. I'll outlast this phone all day long. Thank you, sweetie. That was Cry that helped me out just now.
Tell Primer we said hello. I know I see her in chat, but she's out there with you right now.
So she shared a picture with me earlier. Wow. Like, I think that there's something in there that shit had a face, man. Whatever the hell.
Yeah, you should throw that photo up. That's insane.
That shit had a face. Let me see. But so while I'm looking for that, we're gonna touch base on this black-eyed person sighting you had that you skirted the other night, not talking about. So come on.
Yes.
Is that beeping on one of y'all?
Bass is 3D printing something.
Oh, look! I've been looking around trying to figure out what the fuck is in here beeping at me. What are you printing?
So what? All right, yeah.
Dude, my shit don't beep. What are you talking about?
I heard something back. It sounded like a truck backing up beeping.
Yeah, that's his printer.
Yeah, I hear a wheel or something.
Yeah, that's him.
What are you printing, Bass?
What? What?
What do
Nah,
you
I
print?
took my headphones off for a second to see. Like, dude, my shit don't beat.
No, it's not a beep.
Oh no! I know what it is. Oh, all right. Never mind. All right, my fault.
What are you printing?
Right now I am printing some feathers.
Oh, the red feathers.
Oh, I'd like one of them things.
I got you. I
I'll
got
pay
enough
you for it
filament.
for sure.
I'm not worried about that. I got
No,
enough.
I was just
I
trying to
got
figure
enough
out
red filament to print a whole bunch.
No, I was No, I was just trying to figure out what the hell was beeping. Usually, shit around me starts beeping. Bad shit is following it.
Nah, I know what it is. It's the it's the control board of my printer. Like it does the shit randomly. Like it'll blink in
So,
where I can like
um,
change the settings and it'll blink out to the main screen. That's probably what you're hearing beep.
so is it okay if I share this with? Is it okay with Primal if I share this? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
okay, all right. So I'm gonna bring it up here. Window.
Man, I smell my roast in there. It's making me hungry again. I just got finished eating.
Dude, I made some bacon wrapped
Must
hot
have been a
dogs
good
earlier.
roast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was shared with me earlier from Primal Cry in the chat. Now, you take a look at this for a second. Look at the whole photo. Tell me, you see anything in this photo?
Yeah,
I
I see a face. I see a face in that swirl light.
right over here.
Yeah.
Now, I
Oh, I
that's
see it
what
now.
Is that a
when I opened.
reflection or?
She said she took the picture of her son and it disappeared. I mean, Dark, you probably have more information about this picture.
Well, if you look where her son's sitting, if you're sitting next to his son in the back seat,
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys see it, but it looks like there's a face smiling right here, and then it looks like there's a face right here.
I don't know.
Do you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
You see?
I don't know what's causing that glare. Say, I want to know what's causing the glare, and I think some of that is dust particles in the glare. But I also see a ghostly face that ain't no dust particle. It's right in the center. No,
Hey,
go
you
over.
see it right? Like Jay, you're right underneath the chin, I would say.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Go up a little bit. That's the
Right here?
eyes.
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Zoom into that.
holy shit! I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's like you
Holy
kind of see a
shit.
nose, a brow, eyes, the
Alright,
forehead.
Yeah, the
Lips.
other it looks alien.
Look.
truth. Look,
Yeah.
move your cursor to the right.
Yeah. As far as I can
He,
go.
he, right there. See, that's a head, and there's an arm down below it. There's something sitting next to him, right there.
What the hell
That
is
don't worry me as much as that damn alien face right there. I see a head, a face, and a body. You see that, Bass?
Yeah,
Dude,
You see the
I don't-
head, the eyes, and it goes down to the mouth, and it looks like the shoulders.
guys. So I see quite a few things going on in this picture.
I see
Right.
two things. I see a face towards the left, toward going where your pointer is, going to the left middle. I can see like the brow, the eyes, the nose, the lips. Then if you go to the right,
Here, right?
Right
that
there.
lighter artifact, I don't know what the hell that is, but that looks like a head, eyes, mouth.
Right here, right?
yes.
Yeah,
Head, eye,
I
slit
see
of the
two things in
mouth.
there.
But then I see something right here. But I think this is part of maybe. Was there like a Joker sticker or something on the?
I think that right there is a light artifact hitting like from that uh whatever's causing that glare. I think that's dust particles caught up in that glare because it's why it's so bright. Now, whatever that face is, me and Bash, right there where you're at right now.
Yep. That's a face.
Yeah, that's not an artifact, and that's not light artifact because it's not lit up like the other two things. That is actually something she caught there.
It looks like it's looking right at him.
Yep.
Like it's kind of like a left,
It's amazing what cameras
almost
can
left
do.
side profile.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, you're
You
right
see
on the
the
eyebrow.
cheek?
Then a little below that, you got the eye. No, a little further.
Here's the eye.
No, that's the brow. Eye is right there where your pointer is. Go down,
You're saying
down. Those are the eyes right in that area. If you make like a circle, or not, then you got a nose. You got a couple of lips.
Hey, I gotta jump out, y'all.
all right.
I gotta
No
take
problem.
care of something. Dark Woodz, I'm gonna come back on probably in 30 minutes or so on my channel whenever they get finished. About I don't know how much longer. Give me about 30 minutes after they go down, and I'll be up. Y'all want to? Y'all can come jump in. I've got
Okay.
something I gotta go take care of.
All right, no problem.
Thank y'all for letting me.
Hey, Bo, I appreciate you being on for sure.
Hey, no
Definitely.
problem. Anytime. Hey, anytime, Truth Bass, or y'all need me, I done told y'all call me. I was in the middle of cooking supper when y'all started.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, I'm sorry. But I'll see y'all all here in a little bit over on my channel. Y'all all welcome. Y'all all welcome. And until then, sweet nightmares. See y'all later.
Take it easy.
All right, take care.
See, at first I didn't even notice this.
Yeah,
Just
that's
right
a face. That's a, like that face that you're like squirreling around is about the same size as that entire art thing on the right hand side of it, the lighter thing.
See, I want to know what the hell that is. That looks like it's coming out of the seat. You see what I'm
I don't
saying?
know. I can see a head. I see eyes. That's kind of like a right profile.
What did she catch here? There's a lot. Damn. All right, so Brian,
How you doing, Gordon?
So Dark,
Yes.
stop skirting that question.
Hey, you guys keep changing the subject on me.
No. We're not getting sidetracked anymore. I want to hear about this one. I'm always interested in the black eyed people stories.
Okay, so this is the real deal. It happened back in the mid 90s. I obviously was living in Illinois, and I usually take my son out for a walk out to, there's a bike trail next to our house, and it leads to a gas station. It's a crossroads that's real busy, a lot of traffic, a lot of people, and it sounds like Lakea.
No, that was my oldest son playing Xbox.
Oh, okay. But either way, we cross the street. My son's on my right side, and the bike trail comes up behind the gas station. So this is what's unusual. At that time, we were living in a rich community, and here's this guy riding a BMX bike. He had to be in his upper 30s, early 40s, and he looked like a rough dude. He had black hair parted down the middle. It was long. He had it in a ponytail. Did you ever see that movie with a guy called Machete in it?
Yeah, Danny Trejo.
Okay, he kind of looked like that.
Okay.
And he had a shirt on with cut off sleeves, and he was riding a BMX bike, not even a mountain bike. And behind him, no kidding, was at least 20, 25 kids, ranging from like 8 to 12 years old. They all had, you could tell they were rich kids. They all had nice bikes and nice clothes on. And for some reason, they were following this guy. And this guy pulls into the gas station parking lot, and he comes to the very end of the lot and parks his bike. And all the kids parked their bikes in front of the gas station to go inside and get a bunch of candy and drinks and whatever. And as this guy parks at the outermost part of the lot where the crossroads are, and I'm talking in the middle of the daytime, there's a lot of people around, a lot of traffic on the roads. I'm walking past and I'm thinking this is really freaking unusual. What's a drug dealing, dirtbag looking kind of guy doing with all these young, rich kids? And as we're walking by, I'm closer to the guy, my son, he's about 4 or 5 years old, next to me on my right side. And as we're walking by the guy, I had this feeling like something severely is wrong and I need to take action against it. But this guy standing there, his bike is between his legs and he's holding it up with his legs, and he pulls out a cigarette and he lights it. And when I kept staring at this guy, and as soon as he lit his cigarette, he inhaled and then exhaled, and I was seeing his side profile, but when he exhaled his cigarette, he looked at me and all of his eyes were jet black. No white, no pupil, nothing, just solid black. And I seen that, and I never heard
You ever
any
seen the show
What
Supernatural?
happened after that?
No, I never knew nothing about black-eyed anything back then.
Okay.
But
So
I saw that and I thought, what the hell? I just had this, because I perceive myself as a good guy, and I had this urge to go over and confront this guy. But I was going to do that, and then I looked down and my son's next to me, and I'm thinking, man, I don't want to get into something stupid with my son there because it's just me and him, you know?
Mhm.
And it was hard not to, but I ended up continually walking towards the gas station. We went inside. He got whatever he wanted. All the kids went up to the register. They had tons of stuff. It took a while to ring up everything that they had. And then they ended up leaving. And then we rung up our stuff and then we walked out. And the guy's back on his bike and he's taking off down the trail and he's got all these kids behind him. And I'm just thinking in my head, what the hell is going on? Later on, when I found out about the dark occult, black-eyed kids, black-eyed people, and I personally believe black-eyed people are people who are severely possessed by probably strong demons. I could guarantee that they had something nefarious going on. I wouldn't be surprised if most of those kids ended up missing. Because, like I said, who in the world would?
it kind of sounds like the Pied Piper story.
Yeah. And the dude was scary looking to anyone. You know, you wouldn't confront the guy and try to do something to him because he was definitely physically fit. But I had this urge to just like go up to the guy and say, I know exactly what you are. You know, you ain't doing it. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because later on I found out how strong a possessed person can be. You know, probably would have kicked my butt all over the gas station parking lot.
So when did you get a good look at his eyes when he first rolled up?
Oh yeah, everything was normal. But as soon as he lit that cigarette, it was like he knew I was staring at him. And I could only see the side of his face, and when he lit a cigarette and took a drag and exhaled, he looked straight at me, and his eyes, I
Like I can feel you looking
first,
at me.
yeah, and they're just black. The thing was, back then they had those contacts or something, a lens you could put over your eyes to make them black, you know.
Yeah.
But there's no way in the world. I never seen him put anything in his eyes. There's nothing like that. But that's what it reminded me of.
Now, when he left, did you get a when they left the area? Did you get another look at his eyes? Did they go back to normal?
No, that was after I saw those eyes, I looked away. I was like, because like I said, my son's next to me.
Yeah.
There's something way beyond normal that was happening, and you know, if my ex girlfriend was with me back then, I would have told her take Andrew and go somewhere, you know. But there was nobody. It's just me and him. So uh, I just did what I guess the best thing I could have done in that situation.
Wow.
But I'll never forget that. That's you would think you'd see something like that at nighttime or whatever, but in broad daylight with a ton of people around, that was crazy.
No, yeah, you definitely wouldn't expect that. See, I don't know. A theory behind some of these black-eyed people are is that some of them may be uh, I don't know, vampires. I, I don't necessarily believe in like the blood sucking vampires, energy vampires. Yes, I believe in that. But like the stories you'll hear about them is like they'll ask you for a ride. They'll ask you to come in your house to use your phone or something like that. They're like
Yeah, yeah.
they're trying to gain entry, and that's always been a creepy aspect because you always hear the stories of this. I saw these three kids. They knocked on my door. They were dressed in like old clothing, and they wanted to
Yes.
come in. I told them no. You never hear the stories about who actually let these kids in. Like, you know what I mean? Some like elderly lady or something like, oh yeah, sweetie, come on in, and then she drops dead like a day later. You've never heard the stories.
Yeah, what happens to these people who invite these kids in, you know? I mean, is there I guess you don't know cuz maybe something happened, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you'll never get the story. I mean, I've never even heard of any survivor stories, like anybody who's let them in and then
Oh no! There was one. Dark Water. I remember a long time ago. Dark Waters put out the one where the lady survived. It was one of the Hurricane Katrina stories where she got relocated and like a little girl was at her front door with black eyes, and she let her in, and she uh, woke up, passed out or something like that. She had problems with her foot, where the little girl touched her on her foot or something. That's an old DW story. It was part of the Hurricane Katrina stories.
uh,
What do you guys think as the end result for them wanting to come into people's homes? Do you think they try to steal their souls, or do you think it's an alien thing?
there could be so
I
there,
guess there's not much information on that.
it, it could be such it could be such a wide topic of what's going on. It could be aliens portraying kids or something like that. They could be a cryptid. You know what I mean? I have no idea. Um, but the general consensus is that they they're more. I think they're I think they're energy vampires or something along those lines.
I'm
Um,
leaning towards demonic.
I would agree with you there.
I'm leaning towards demonic. Dude, when I first started hearing stories about that, like I'm a huge fan of the show Supernatural. When I first started hearing stories about that, I'm like, dude, this reminds me so much of that show. Like where people report seeing these people and like it's not just their pupils. I mean like their whole eye is black. And it's like it's not like a regular black. It's like
And
It's kind of like a void black.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. That's what I saw.
dude.
I tell you, when you see something like that, it shocks you and you think, am I seeing this? But you keep looking at it and you're seeing it. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
because it's so out of the norm. You know what I mean? Like, well, hence the name paranormal. But like, um, I couldn't. It's never happened to me, and quite frankly, I'd never want to see one of these individuals because
I'm
that I
punching
think
you straight in the face if your eyes turn black.
well, I'll
I
tell you what, if
thank you
you ever
guys. I appreciate
experience that, if you ever experience that, the divine inner self of you is going to want to approach it. It's going to want you that's the feeling that I got, because I
Cool,
believe
cool.
in God and all that stuff. But it just fired me up like I need to take care of this.
You need to stop this evil.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really basic primal evil versus good scenario. Like, I don't know. That's kind of the feelings that I got when all that was occurring. But at the same time, I was kind of in fear, not for myself, but for my son being there. I didn't want anything to happen to him. And I just, I just did, I guess, the best thing I could have did in that situation. Because I feel bad that I didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, but you know what? Think about it. Like, let's say you did get into a tussle with this guy, and the cops ended up showing up, and his eyes weren't black anymore. They went to the regular whatever they look like, and he was shocked. Like, dude, he's attacking me. Then you'd have went to jail. It's just a fun. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, I would have went to jail happy if I knew all those kids got broke from that spell and went home.
See, that's what I'm wondering. What the hell happened to these kids?
I don't think they ever went home.
Hmm.
Because the whole thing, the guy was scary looking to anyone. Why would all these kids be hanging around him? It was just, the whole thing was just out of the ordinary weird.
Like the way they left, was it like heading towards a major area, or was it heading towards maybe like a more desolate area?
Eventually, because I rode that trail, I'm a big mountain biker. I rode that trail down. If you go a ways, about 3-5 miles, it starts getting desolate. You start going into forest preserves, stuff like that.
Hmm. So this happened in what year? 95, you said?
Yeah, somewhere around 95.
All right, I got some stuff. I got some stuff to look up now.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
but these black eyed people sightings, they've been happening for ages.
How far back do you think they've been happening? Like in the 1800s and stuff?
Probably
earlier,
further back than that. Way
Earlier.
further. Middle
You
Ages,
guys are
maybe
good
even
about
before that.
researching.
I'll look it up.
Wow.
I don't have to be to work till like 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'll check it out. I'm pretty
Well,
sure like you could probably find reports from like the Middle Ages and probably before that. Shit, the mines might have reported stuff like that.
like like I said before, if you can think of a topic, I've probably read something about it, listened to something about it, or watched something about it.
Did you
So
guys ever hear of Nancy Drew?
yes.
You guys are the Hardy Boys.
Now, see, the Hardy Boys actually go out there and look for shit. I'm not going out there and look for Bigfoot or any of this. Do it
Yeah,
from
I got growled at. I'm good on that.
Do it from the safety of my studio chair. Paul, man, stop going crazy in chat asking about what are you talking about adult toys?
Because they were talking about a mule about 5 minutes ago.
You weird ducks.
Focus, people.
All right, guys. So we've been going for like almost 2 hours. We're gonna cut it a little short. We're gonna cut it because Volt's gonna hop on in a little bit. But Dark Woodz, I thank you again, man, for coming on, and you're always welcome to the channel. Um, I
Yes,
love having
sir.
you on. You're a great, great person to talk to, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, and I thanks a lot for you guys letting me dump out my experiences. And like I said, hopefully other people
Shit.
can
Even if
get
it's
an
one
insight
person that
on
had,
something.
even if it's one
Yeah,
person that had the
exactly.
same encounter, you never know. As long as you
That's
put it
true.
out there.
And then,
All right, so thank you everybody for stopping by the channel. Be sure to go by Volt's channel in a while. He's going to be going live. I think it's bring your own topic tonight. So we'll see it over there. So I'm gonna hit this outro and thank you everybody for subscribing and see you soon. All right, so it's my outro. Hold
hey,
on, guys. Yo, go ahead. Go ahead.
Truth, I got one question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Last time we were gonna go over to Vault's channel, I got out, and I
Yeah,
think I was supposed to go with you guys. Is he gonna send a link or something?
yeah.
How does
When
that
he
work?
said when he sends it to me, I'll shoot it right over to you because I'll pick it right off the email on my phone and I'll shoot it right over to you.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks
All right.
again, guys. I appreciate
Yep.
it.
Oh, definitely, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir.
All right,
All right.
take
Yep.
care.
Yep. With that, everybody, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later.